put on your heart and in your life and in your journey, Jesus is working just as hard. So, just know that so many people could benefit from your work. You should really consider a podcast journey. I would love to, but when I go on it's not even a rant. When I start to really truly express where my mind and my heart and my soul is, it's very, very rarely me. And that might sound scary, and that might sound crazy, and that might sound just almost cultish. It's really not. It's not me sitting here. I can take experiences and separate them from the emotion that they gave me and recognize that where Jesus was working. That's the way podcast was working in my life. So for real. No. I have friends that are killing it, you guys. My friend Ali Yost, she is an amazing podcaster. She has a really great podcast. You go to her Instagram and it's linked in her bio. Me and her, we are so tight because anytime I am struggling with something, I go to her. I don't go to very many friends about things anymore just because it's very hard for me to distinguish whether advice is coming from a godly place, especially when I have friends that aren't necessarily people who are walking with God. When I'm struggling with something, I search for Jesus in any way I can. I turn on YouTube and I listen to a sermon and I pray that it's going to resonate with the situation, or I open my Bible and all these things. But when I sit here and I go on these little rants, it's not me. I genuinely, I can talk about it because I've had experience, and I don't ever want to come from a biased place. I want to come from what has helped me and what I can talk about without me having an emotional reaction or advice coming from a place of bitterness, which isn't fair for whoever's listening to me, which I know I have a lot of people who follow me and not only look up to me, but honestly, like, I've done things in their life. Can't let us be friends. I don't think that it's fair to the next person that unless you didn't look at that person as your kingdom spouse, as somebody that you were going to be with forever, I do not think it's fair. If you're like, yeah, we dated, but we started off friends and like we wanted to continue to be friends and it just didn't work, that's different. I think you guys could be friends, but speaking of it, only helps you guys too. Right, it does, but like I was saying, like you wouldn't want to go to somebody who was like fresh out of divorce and you're like, I'm getting married. You're not gonna give me your advice. You're not gonna want to go to that person for advice on marriage when they are now bitter when it comes to marriage because they just saw a marriage fail. Not only a marriage, but something that they also believed in so heavily. So that's why it's so important to be able to look at where you're getting advice, and if you can tell or you sense any type of bitterness or biased advice coming from somebody saying, well, I experienced this, so I can tell you about it. Well, no, did you heal from that experience? Because I feel that I'm not getting real advice because there's bitterness attached to the experience that you're trying to, or any type of emotion that you're trying to give me wisdom on or try to act wise on towards me. Because I'm coming to you for advice because I trust you and I believe in you and I like the place you are in your life. But I'm not going to come to you with it for advice for something that I genuinely need pure advice on. And you know what? That's the thing. And there are times emotions are difficult. They are, but there are times that you'll ask me for advice when it comes to certain things, and I'm just gonna be 100% real with y'all. I can give you guys advice on relationships sometimes. There are other times that if I were to get a call from somebody, I'm gonna not be in the best place for the week after, maybe 2 weeks after, because now I'm so confused, and now I might be a little bitter, and now I'm biased. Now there's those times that you catch me on a live, doing what I love, just trying to clear my mind, listening to sermons, doing what I can to bring me back to what Jesus has intended for me. If I get those calls, and then the day after I go live, you guys might not recognize it, but in my head, I am battling a war on confusion because I may have felt like something could have been different. So you'll come in here and be like, I'm going through a really hard breakup. Can you please give me any advice? I'll be like, leave them alone. Don't ever talk to them ever again. I'm obviously bitter. You can sense that there's emotions connected to that. I'm no longer giving you any type of wisdom or any kind of good advice. I'm giving you words that mean nothing because that's my experience. That's probably not yours, you know? So I won't even talk about it. There has been many times that I'll be like, I can't give you that advice because I have emotions attached to that experience. That yes, I've experienced it. Yes, I've gone through a breakup. Yes, I've gone through my parents divorcing. Yes, I've gone through financial issues. Yes, I've gone through all of these things. I can talk about financial issues. I can talk about going through your parents going through a divorce, and you need somebody to sit here, or a breakup, and you need somebody to sit here and listen and almost guide you through how to be a good daughter of or son of parents who no longer feel like you have a love to look up to anymore, because I feel like that's where we learn, or your grandparents, that's where you learn how you're supposed to love somebody. Like I've learned, and I have no emotions connected to the fact that my parents aren't together anymore. I can give you advice to this day, right now. I could give you relationship advice and breakup advice, and I can give you advice and wisdom based off of something because I no longer have any type of overwhelming emotion or any type of bias or bitterness towards any relationship I've ever had, because I've done the work. I have so much clarity, and I've spent so much time with myself and with Jesus, and in those times that I do feel really distant from God, I'm like, I kind of want to go out and party and drink. I just want to go find attention. I want to go whatever. I stop myself so fast. You show no wisdom. And that's okay, because wisdom isn't, that's okay that you feel that way, because wisdom does not exist in somebody trying to give you advice based off of experience that still has emotion connected to it. For your opinion, I do think that I have a lot of knowledge on things that I can just wish the best for. I can just wish the best for my parents to find people that truly do love them, which my stepmom is amazing. My mom, she went through a breakup, and that's something I'm a little difficult, it's a little difficult for me because my mom's ex-boyfriend is like a second dad to me. But now I can sit here and pray over these situations. I can remove myself from all of these situations and only wish the best. I wish the best for my mom and my dad, and my dad's marriage, and my mom finding, and if she did find somebody that's in her life now that could potentially be somebody, whatever. I could look at my financial situations and be like, okay, I put my finances in the hands of Jesus and only spend my money in ways that would glorify Him. I can look at my past relationships and be like, okay, this is where I've gone wrong. This is what I'm going to do differently next. And I hope my first boyfriend finds somebody more suitable for him. I hope my second boyfriend finds somebody more suitable for him. And I hope that Jesus works in their lives the way He's working in mine. So, yeah, I think that I have come come a very long way, and that's why I can approach most situations now the way Jesus would, because I have so much clarity on every situation and kind of see the realities rather than taking all of those other things off. You have to take all of those things off the pedestal in order for Jesus to step up on it and work the way he's intended to work, because he's not going to work if anything else is on the pedestal he should be on. But yeah, so I went on a much longer rant than I intended because I have stuff that I need to get done and go do. Right, that's true. Have you always been this close to God? Heck no. I didn't even believe in God until last year. I was raised to not believe in Jesus. Honestly, it was like weird to pray. Like, I went to a Catholic high school, and like me and my brother, while they would pray for lunch, like over lunch, me and my brother would be like, what is going on? And like during choir, before choir, every time everyone would pray, and like me and my brother would be goofing off, being disrespectful. I love that. I hope for my daughter. She loves it. Good. So no, I was not raised or not always close to God, and there's times, even after I've given my life to Jesus, that I might fall short and be so disappointed in myself. But God tells us not to be. God doesn't want us to have shame or guilt or any of that. He died for those.